Hello my friend and welcome back. My name is Hannah and today let's rewind the clock and talk about some 2021 holiday releases. So if you're curious about what I'm wearing on my face, what I mentioned in today's video, and what I'm doing in other pockets of the internet, I always have links in the description box down below. I know right now the trend is to talk about Black Friday sales or holiday releases, gift buying guides and things like that. And if you're like me and you're on a no buy, low buy, or you're just not interested in spending a lot of money, maybe this is the video for you. I like makeup and I like looking at the new releases, even though I'm not looking at them with the intent to buy anything. And even though the thought will cross my mind oh, I really want this, after I sit on it for a couple days, I realize that, that was just impulsive. And I was looking at some of the holiday bundles and releases coming out. And I mean, every year they're exactly the same. But it made me think oh, how different is this? Honestly, it was the MAC collection, and so we'll talk about it in this video. But I was looking at their collection and I'm like, how is this any different from anything that they've released? And then I was thinking of other holiday releases that have come out. And some of the items on this list, I've either forgotten came out altogether, forgot that they came out for holiday, or just, I have some other thoughts and opinions about them. So if you're, I'll try to link what I can. I don't know how many of these items are still actually available, but let's talk about the Pat McGrath Celestial Odyssey collection. And I'm looking at a picture of this collection and I'm trying to remember what their holiday collection looks like this year. I will do a side-by-side photo so you guys can see it, and I guess I'll see it in editing. I did pick up the face palette for this collection, but I'm looking at the face palette in this collection and it is 3 shades, and I think those are the 3 shades that are already in my face palette. I love my face palette. I think that it was worth the buy for me. I really enjoy the product. I'm wearing it on my face today, but I have no other Pat McGrath blush or highlight, anything like that. I don't even have, I have the one eyeshadow palette from the Bridgerton collection. I don't have any of the other motherships. I don't have any lipsticks, lip liners, foundations, any of that. I'm pretty bare in my collection when it comes to Pat McGrath. So looking at this is kind of, again, it's giving me the same repeat holiday release. Lorac released a palette for holiday in 2021, and it kind of looks like any other Lorac product, but it also is giving me the fall magic from Unearthly Cosmetics. I'm gonna post Unearthly Cosmetics, and then I'm gonna post that Lorac palette right here, and if you add this one, you didn't need this one, but if you have this one, you definitely didn't need that one. It's too similar. It's the same with that tealy brown or tealy blue kind of shimmer in there. And they just have this has been a problem with Lorac, and I think just a lot of brands from that graduating class of makeup brands, they release a lot of shades that look very, very similar on the lid. You don't need to include both of them because they both look so similar that it's and I get it, you want to release that tone in a cooler tone and in a warmer tone for those who like cooler or warmer palette, but then just make 2 palettes. Make a cool tone palette and make a warm tone palette. Why give us everything at once? Especially if I'm someone that if it looks the same on the lid, I'm just gonna use the one shade. I don't know. Does that make any sense? I believe Sephora has a holiday favorites. They do this every year. But looking at last year's favorites, it's really telling of what was popular in 2021 versus what kind of became popular in 2022. They do have these Natasha Denona minis in there. And I believe that they either Natasha Denona either soloed released one of these minis, or it was included. I think she released it by herself. It wasn't something in a Sephora favorites. Like she was just like, you can buy this like little trio if you want. And I remember a lot of people during the like will I buy it videos that week were like, this is such a waste of money, blah blah blah. I kind of get it for those who maybe do one or two eyeshadow looks. Like my boss, she wears the same 2 eyeshadow shades every single day. It doesn't matter what she's wearing, it's the same 2 shades. And that's what she likes to do. That's fine. She always laughs at me because I'll come into work just like this and she's like, how many eyeshadows did you use today? And I will just say like more than 2, and she laughs. There's the Kosas like lip gloss, the Fenty Beauty mascara, and like a beauty blender in there, and of course like the NARS, like I'm assuming that's like Laguna bronzer, and the Milk Hydro Grip. I'm interested to see what the Sephora favorites this year is, because I want to say, like again, I want to say there is a Natasha Denona like mini like trio in there, and I don't know. Why do I want to say that the Patrick Ta eyebrow gel is in there? Like I don't think it is, but like in my brain I like somehow believe that it is, but I'll have 2 comparison photos. Okay, so now this is the fun part, or what the inspiration for this video. MAC released their hypnotizing holiday sets and kits, and I believe this year is Bubbles and Bows. Looking at the color selection, and like I remember when this palette came out, people were pissed. They were like, this looks terrible, this is ugly, I hate it. And looking at it, I kind of get what they're doing. They're doing the like transition shade in the crease, and then you have like a deeper shade, you know, to kind of make it more of like a smoky eye, and then you have the shimmer that you could put on top, and then that shade right in the center you could use as a white like inner corner highlight. I see what they're doing, I get it, but like yeah, the presentation is terrible, makes me sick. Looking at the collection in its whole, it doesn't really look too different from what they're releasing this year. But again, I think MAC, like NARS, like Lorac, like Too Faced, like Tarte, have been around for so long that all of their holiday releases look exactly the same. It doesn't really matter. Speaking of NARS, the NARS 2021 eyeshadow palette. Looking at this makes me angry. NARS was one of the like makeup brands that I was like loyal stan, if you will. Everything NARS released, I had. And this was going back into like 2010, 2012. From 2010 to 2016. I was like, NARS, I swear by them, they can do no wrong. I would go to like Nordstrom, I would go to Sephora, I would go to like TJ Maxx, Ulta, wherever I can find NARS products. I was shopping there because I wanted everything NARS. Looking at this eyeshadow palette, like their fashion aesthetic, I think, is runway. They're a brand that's known for a lot of their runway makeup looks, which are absolutely beautiful, but I can't stress this enough. There's a difference between content makeup and then like day-to-day makeup. How I look on camera right now, like I feel comfortable going out in my day-to-day like this, how I do my makeup, but by no means do I think this is a natural, like, to me this is like a full face. Like the closer I get to the mirror in front of me and I can kind of see how my foundation is on my face, the more I'm very much aware that I'm wearing makeup. But when I catch my glance in my viewfinder, my skin looks like flawless, beautiful, pretty. So MAC makes makeup that like looks really pretty on camera, absolutely gorgeous. But if you tried to wear this out in your day-to-day, it's going to be melting off, it's going to disappear. It's not, you know, like it's not for every day. Like that's like at the core of their brand. Not to say that they don't have products that you can wear day-to-day, you know, and that perform really well. I just think at the core of their brand, it's for fashion runway. It's, you know, and even on fashion runway, when the model is going down the catwalk, like, it's not like the camera is like this close to her face. The camera isn't even like this close to her face most of the time. They're like on the other side of the room and they're like zooming in. It's completely different. But looking at this collection, I'm like, what is going on? There's too many tones that look exactly the same. I don't quite understand this color story. And I think they released this same collection again this year. Like with this like tape going across. Like that's been like their holiday thing. I'm pretty sure that's this year, right? Like, gosh, terrible. And then finally, last one on this list is the Melt Mariposa collection. And I have this palette. I've actually been using this palette a lot lately. I've used this palette a lot year round. I think it is a beautiful palette. I am not a huge fan of big giant palettes. I maybe have 3 in my collection in total, with the Melt being one of them. And this is, for a holiday release, I think it's really amazing because it's not necessarily like, it gives you the same holiday vibes, like the meaning behind the holiday, if you will, without being like reds and greens. But there are reds and greens in this palette, but with some like purples and, you know, some browns and, you know, just other tones that kind of bring the color story. It can bring the color story to like Christmas holiday, but it could also bring it away from that and like still look really nice. It's a gorgeous palette. And they did have a blush palette with it, and I really wanted to get my hands on that blush palette, but I'm kind of glad I didn't because it looks a lot like my Pat McGrath face palette that I have this year, and I really love that face palette. Like, I've been using it nonstop since I've gotten it, really. And the shades do look kind of similar. Like, it's a really pretty palette though, and I like the Melt like face products, like their blushes and their bronzers. I do think that they're nice, but I think that the Mariposa palette is completely gone now. Looking at Melt's holiday release this year is quite interesting because it is just like smaller, like mini palettes with some lip products. And I don't know, I like how they try different things and how they're, again, staying true to like not necessarily being like Christmas holiday, but like products that you can use throughout the year. And I kind of like that they're using zodiacs, even though that's kind of like an old makeup trend. I think it's kind of funny. But that was it for like some of the big lists of like holiday 2021. Let me know in the comments down below, was there like another like big item that I was missing? I was just kind of going through some videos and picking up some of the things that were mentioned at least 3 or 4 times out of the videos that I watched. I don't know, are you buying anything for holiday this year? Are you maybe changing your mind about something for holiday this year because you realize that like, oh shoot, I already have that because I bought it last year for holiday? I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. And if you liked hanging out with me today and you would like to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Yeah.